Oh, hello. Welcome to part 3 of my 5,000 day survive in this world. Five months ago, start of October 2024, I made the amazing decision to embark on a journey to build a 1-to-1 scale replica of the Pyramids of Giza in my hardcore Minecraft world. Little did I know this was going to be the most boring and long project I've done since I made a netherite beacon. We all know the Pyramids of Giza. They were built by the aliens many moons ago, but they are a massive wonder of the world. Everyone wants to go visit them in Egypt. I want to go visit them in Egypt, but I haven't had the chance yet. And they are massive. The biggest one being the Pyramid of Khufu stands currently at 138 meters, which is 454 foot high. The base of which is 230 meters squared, or 440 cubits. And as you all know, one Minecraft block is a 1 meter by 1 meter square cube, which means for the biggest pyramid, it will be a 230 by 230 block base, and I have to build that all the way up to 140 blocks tall, as well as doing the other two pyramids that are very slightly smaller and then a lot smaller. But I don't want to stop there. I'm also going to do a replica of the interior of each of the pyramids. So to start off with, I had to find a space big enough to fit these 3 pyramids, including the exact distance between each one. I used Google Maps to measure the distance between each pyramid corner to corner so that I could make it as close to real life as possible. And that means looking for an area of this desert that has a 620 by 620 distance space that, you know, luckily I know that this desert goes on for quite a while over here. Okay, you know what, hold on, I need to mark these areas out. And that's what I did. I used wool to mark each corner of the large pyramid, going 230 by 230 in each direction. And once that was done, I wanted to make sure that each direction was all on the same level. So I just went in each direction, mining down to Y level 64, so at least I had one large square all flat on Y64 and I could make the pyramid from there. And then this is where I then decided to build a duper, which you may have seen in previous videos that I've uploaded over the last 5 months. So I guess I'm just gonna manually mine over like 4 million blocks of sand. Obviously I'm not going to do that. I am of course gonna finally build myself a sand duper. So I'm going to start in the collection system, which will obviously be here, because there is no way I'm going to manually collect myself like millions of sand to make millions of sandstone. That's just not going to happen. I don't know exactly where the sand's going to land, but when I tested this, it was actually in this area. Like it kept on throwing it out here. So this will allow the minecart to go through here. I don't actually fully know how it works, but it somehow makes its way through here, this section, and it will kind of land on top of the bottom half of the stair. And because it's not a full block, it means it will kind of teleport straight through onto the rails, which will be here. And then half of it will be on the rails, half of it in the lava, which then causes it to break, but not get destroyed. And as it breaks, it will obviously drop off all of the sand and everything it's collected into the water source, and go into the hopper, back into this, and be dispensed back onto the path. I don't get how people figure this out, to be honest with you. And then this is where my design changes a tad, because I'm using crafters. So, and I need to do that so that all of these make sandstone, because I actually found that a lot of sand, because there's so much, a lot of it actually makes it to the end, which is why I've got 6 auto crafters, which I will put the observers behind in a second, because otherwise it's going to be loud and I can't be bothered with that. And these will be dispensed into single chest, which will then be dispensed into double chest, like that. And this side just needs to have double chest. Okay, cool. So if I was to do this, no, Oh. Okay, well, I was supposed to put this one forward, so everything I've just built needs to be moved that way. I hate my life. Okay, I've moved it all one back, and it now works. As you can see, they go up, pull through, break, and then come back through. Sorted. Right, for now, I'm going to turn that off, and now I can head back. Cool. Oh. Throwback to my first episode. Okay, alright, let's get rid of this. Right, did this work? Did I go the right? I didn't. Yeah, okay. I wonder why they haven't patched this. Yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna need you. All the way around. Like so. And now I do need access to underneath, so I'm actually just gonna preemptively dig out. Like so. Like so. I need scaffolding there and there. Let's go that way. Let's go that way. Glass there. Redstone there, redstone there. As well as on the scaffolding. And then you can fill the corners here. And then you also need observer facing out there. No blocks there. No. Like that. Observer there into solid block. Glass underneath. And then the rails. I don't actually know why it couldn't be the exact same, but just can't. How did I get the glass wrong? Let's just hope it doesn't have to be glass. Observer facing this way. Observer facing that way. That needs to be there. And that needs to be that way. Oh no, this doesn't need to be there. That was just temporary. This one needs to be here, actually. And the final note block goes there. Okay, so the material list is wrong, because I need one more note block, which is just frustrating. That can go there. Well, that turns it off. Okay, cool. Cool. Right, now I need a chunk loader. It's not done yet. Hold on. I need to also do that. Like that. Get that in there. Why does it take me to another place? Why does this keep happening to me? I'm ages away from home. What the hell? Okay, so is this even gonna work because it opened up a different blooming... Why? Why has it... Okay, right. Are you gonna work this time or... Why? Why does it? So this chunk loader just doesn't work then. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, it's working. Okay, cool. So now... That looks like that's working. And... Yeah. Don't. That's sending all the sand across. That should be... Oh, why? What? Oh, I didn't, oh my god. All that effort to move it all, and I forgot to set the crafters back up. Okay, never mind, it was just the one. Okay, cool. Right, so that means... Hopefully... when things come all... That's all sandstone. And the ones that make it all the way to the end should then turn into sand. Okay, this is working. Right, now it's time for me to just stay here AFK. So, it's kind of overflowing because these are still shooting it out. And it's just going all over the place. So let's just I don't have enough shulker boxes. So let's do that. Right, let's also turn this off. Alright, now to just make a load of shulker boxes. I can't actually carry all of them, so you know what, I'm just gonna take a load and put them in. I'm gonna make space in my ender chest so that I can carry a load of shulker boxes back with me, because I want to be able to take as much sandstone and stuff as possible. Okay, time to fill all of these shulker boxes with all of the sandstone and sand. This is a very fun process. So there's all of that sandstone, all of that is sand, and all of this is cut sandstone. And the reason why I've got cut sandstone, sand, and normal sandstone is because I want to add a little bit of texture into these at least, because obviously the real pyramids aren't just smooth all over. So I wonder how far into this big pyramid all of this gets me. I'm gonna guess not very far, to be honest with you. Alright, that is a lot of it done. I'm officially out of regular sandstone. I have gone through all of these shulker boxes, and this is a very big build. I am at the point, however, where I'm going to have to start doubling the layers, because I need to get this build to Y211, and I'm currently on 158. And I think if I keep going up by one layer, then I'm going to reach the center before I'm on 211. So it means I'm going to have to start doubling this up to make sure I can actually get to the top, because the real pyramid has actually got a 10 by 10 square in the center. So I'm not sure if I can actually get it to 10 by 10, but I want to be able to get close enough. So to be able to do that, it means I need a bit of space in the center before I get there. But first of all, I think I'm actually going to change the block I use. So all of this has been sand / sandstone, mainly sandstone. As you can see down here, just to add a bit of sort of, I can't even see it, where is it? Down here. Just add a bit of different texture and stuff. And I did have the idea to change the texture at the top a bit more, which is why I have cut sandstone and more sand. So I'm going to do the rest of the top in cut sandstone, and we'll see how that looks. And then hopefully I might have enough to actually get me to the tippity top, but if not, then I'm gonna have to go back to my sand duper and get some more. I do time-lapse form, by the way, because it just means that I can actually play and not have to worry about talking in the mic or anything. I can literally just record whenever, whatever time of day, whenever I want, and just start recording. Otherwise, it's just a very boring process. It's just me doing this. And it's not a very fun thing to watch, I don't think. Me just going around in a square like this. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, I'm definitely not going to have enough sandstone for this. Actually, just quickly before I go into the time-lapse, I have just figured out the math. So this is currently on Y161. There's going to be 2 layers, so end on Y162. This is going to be a 53 by 53 square. Right, and then the next layer is going to be a 51 by 51 square, because you just take off the ends, and that will end on Y164 for the same reason, because I'm going to go up by 2. So I'm going to have to keep doing that, so double layers, up until I am creating a 19 by 19 square, and then it's going to be triple layers from then on, and it's going to end perfectly on a 9 by 9 square at Y211. Yeah, this looks dumb. I was trying to make it 1-to-1 scale, but I'm gonna have to lie and not do that, because this looks stupid. And with that is finally the biggest pyramid complete. It is very, very large. And now I just need to do the second largest pyramid, which is at these 4 wool points here. And it also means doing it all over again. I've got to repeat that process, just on a slightly smaller scale. But first of all, I'm going to need more sandstone, because that pyramid actually used up every single block. So all I've got left is some cut sandstone for the tops and bits of sand. What does this look like on the inside? Oh, great. Okay. Okay, it's a mob farm. This poor little village is now just trapped. This looks weird. What does it look like? Oh, what does it look like with shaders on? Just darkness. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's mad. These shaders actually look quite cool. All of the fog in the desert. I'm pretty sure I had 14 shulker boxes of sandstone, if I remember correctly. 27 times 14 times 64. 24,000 blocks of sandstone is in that. And now I've got to go back to the duper and fill all these back up again. So I kind of forgot that I already made a load of sandstone. So now I just need to kind of swap these around. Right. Time to just wait around here until these are full up again. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 shulker boxes full. I can leave those here. I think for now, this might actually be okay. Well, actually, all of this needs to now be flattened to be the same height, because I believe the pyramids are all on the same level. Yeah, it looks like they are. So, and now all of this area has to go down to that height. Oh, great. Now I just have to mine it out properly and do that as well. This is, why did I decide to do this? This is so long. Okay, that's all of that bit, and now I actually have to just, well, build the pyramid. And with that, I have now officially built all 3 pyramids. But that's not all. I want to try and create a real-to-life interior for each of these as well. And to help me do that, I'm going to use a video from this really small YouTuber. Some of you may know him. He's called Mr. Beast. He recently did a video where he actually managed to explore all of these pyramids. And it was perfect timing, because now I can use that video to try and replicate the interior of each of these. And then once I've done that, I also have to flatten all this ground, because this, like, you know, around the pyramids is flat. So I need to try and flatten at least the area around the pyramids and make it, I'll probably terraform it up rather than flatten literally everything, because that's just too much effort. And then I need to build the other random structures that are around them, and then I will finally be done. I started this video back in October 2024, and as of recording this, it's currently March 2025. So yeah, I'm going to start with the smallest pyramid and use Mr. Beast's video to try and figure out how the interior went. So I'm looking at is this layout. So this is the area that is facing the other pyramids. So there seems to be a big entrance here, but there's also this stairway down. So what I need to do is in this section here, around here, and it looks like it's like almost central, to be honest with you. So around here, what I need to do is build a big entrance there, and then also build a stairway into the pyramids here. Oh, to be fair, it does look almost exactly central. So around here, I'll start the staircase up back there, and then it just comes into this area.
The initial descent of the pyramid took us down a shaft over 100 feet below the ground to the very
100 feet below the ground. What's that in meters? 30 blocks deep. So 30 blocks down, and then I need to make this room. I need to go down to 37. And now I'm at 37. Goes in this way. I think it's probably actually only 1 block. This, I don't know how tall a Minecraft player is, but I'll do it 3 high. And then I don't think it's actually going to be that long, but it is longer than it is wide. So it needs to be at least longer than 5 blocks. I don't think there are any dripstone caves in the pyramids. Fair, actually, this staircase probably could be just 1 wide, because it looks like it's only wide enough to fit 1 person. I've actually just found this image, and that's the room that I've just built. So I might be able to just try and copy this layout. So this area probably works. And then if I use that image, it looks like it goes off to the side a bit. It's also a taller room. So I'll do 4 high total. It goes quite far this way, but the room itself, it doesn't seem as wide. If I just do 4 blocks, clear out this area. Yeah, that looks wide enough. There's a hole in the wall right here, which apparently goes nowhere. And then there's stairs down this way, but it also continues on this way. Oh wait, hold on. In Jimmy's video, the hole in the wall is above the entrance they came from. Oh, this room's taller than this. Let's go one more. Then there's a hole in the wall there. Yeah, so you can, yeah, so it's literally just 1 block. Cool. Okay, so in the picture, there is a separate tunnel, but in real life, it's blocked off. And also in real life, it's not that big of an area. Just like this space, pretty much. And then there is another tunnel like here, but it doesn't go anywhere. I think I'm just going to put like iron bars on it. This next bit, I don't fully understand from in the picture because it goes down, but then this picture shows it kind of coming off into these different directions, and in Jimmy's video it's literally just this one room. So I'm now confused. I'll go a little bit further. I think probably this area. So this is quite a tall room, but it like arches in, so I'm gonna have to use stairs. So that's the chamber. This is the chamber room, and this burial bit also has a little section here. That looks like it's sand at the bottom. Everything else is sandstone. Right. Okay. So now all I've got to do is replace all of this stone and stuff with sandstone. Right, that's that area pretty much done now. I just need to add the stairs in. Which actually, you know what? I might as well get it now. Well, I've got a load of spruce wood, so I think I'm going to do it in spruce. Right, now I just need to add these stairs going down. Cool. Now this one is done. I think I do just need like iron bar railings and stuff. And obviously need this stairway up, which is going to be in slabs. I think that is that pyramid's entire interior. So the big hole is about here, I suppose. And then I just need to sandstone it up. So that'll do for the big hole. Actually, what I probably could do is just like, could do this. And I think then, minus the railing, oh, I can't do that. Let me go get the railings. I don't think I need this many, but I'd rather have too much because I'm assuming there are railings in the other ones as well. Right, now the smallest of the 3 pyramids is complete, minus the path up, but I'll do that when I flatten the area. Now we've got to move on to the second biggest one. So according to Jimmy's video, the entrance to this one, the Pyramid of Khafra, is on this side as well. I don't think this one is as central. I don't think it actually matters because I've got to go 30 blocks down again. This one is a smaller hole. I think I'm just going to make it the same as the last one where it's just kind of one down. They actually go down like out here away from the pyramid. And I've got to go 30 blocks down again in this direction. Right, so this is 100 foot down. And then this is literally just like a storage space when they were building the paths and stuff. And I think that's literally it for this one. So if I replace all the walls now, and then I'm going to have stairs there. Now I believe that is that section done. Cool. What is next?
The final burial chamber of King Khafra.
I think it's this. I think the room I've just built is this one, which means there's another exit here. And there is indeed a pathway behind it. Oh, hold up. This is... Okay, this is even... That's not better, but... So, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, I need to do another one, but going up behind. And then a long tube to the burial chamber. And I need to do another hallway this way that's just tall enough for our character. That's annoying. That looks about right as well. Unless I make it a little bit longer so I can go past this water. I might do that. Okay, now we need to build this room. So what does this room look like? Okay, so again, it's facing this way. So I think this is about where the cameraman was. But then there's a bit of extra space behind him for the actual tomb. I think the best way for me to figure out how tall and how wide this needs to be is to build those, like, there's like 3 or 4 giant blocks of just sandstone, because there's a big block literally in the corner here, and it sticks out like this far, but it is the widest one, which means I think the room has to be a little bit wider at least. This one is about the same height as him. That one's a bit taller, so I need slabs on that one, and this one needs full blocks. And then above this, I think it'll be easier for me to figure out the height if I do the walls, because it's another triangular ceiling. Kind of feel like I'm gonna have to do the roof now, because that water is just gonna be annoying as hell. The roof is then like this. Oh, why does there have to be water here, man? And now all I've got to do is empty the interior. Actually, what am I doing? You know what? I've got sponges at home. Let me just build this. Alright, let's go get some sponges. Right, now that all the water's gone, let me do the floor. So that's that room. There's just a tomb over here. And this tomb looks kind of like... I'm going to have to use slabs. Then it's just more sandstone down here, I'm assuming. Cool, there's the tomb. I think that is then it for this. So I just have to now change everything else into sandstone. Right, yeah, that's basically it. So let me change all of these walls into sandstone. Now, obviously, all of these rooms also need lights, but I will do that after. All right, and now we can move on to the third and final pyramid. Now, I think all of the entrances are actually on the same side, but this one does go all the way down. Now, the thing is, Mr. Beast didn't do that. He went up to the King's Chamber, but he didn't actually show the rest of these. He only showed one room. To begin with, I will build this bit and then go up, and I'll do this room as well, and I can do the start of that because that's what he did at the start of the video, and then I'll skip forward in the video and I'll do the rest. I think I'm gonna have to make this one up because I don't believe he actually goes in that one. So if I just pick a random point here, but a bit more central, so we'll go over here. This is the entrance we're picking. Now I know it's not straight down, but how in the hell am I going to do this? So then at this point I will kind of flatten it out a bit because I need it to go up but also down. So if I have this be the stairway down, and then at some point I need it to kind of go up, so maybe I just kind of do this. I don't actually know how high up this goes. I mean, to be fair, I'm gonna have to keep going anyway, and at some point the room will be taller. But this is where it goes straight to the queen, and this is the tall room, and now this can be the room that goes up the many layers. Gotta go fast! Gotta go fast! Now this is the least accurate one that I've done, but only because of Jimmy's fault. Maybe I make this bit taller? I don't know how tall I need to make it though. I need to be taller than that. Right, now these walls are way bigger, but I'll start off as I have done all the other ones by just doing the outline here. Come to think of it, I feel like I should have made this one wider. This is too thin. You can see how wide this is. It's a lot wider than just one block. Yeah, screw it, right. I'm going to take all of this down and just make it like one wider on each side. Right, so now that that bit is done, there's like a small room here, and then there's actually a crawling space somewhere. So this is actually a little crawling space that then leads to a big open room that, according to Jimmy's video, is very, very tall. And this roof is actually flat. Like this. Cool. That's that tomb. Now, I actually am confused as to where this is. Because the issue that I have is in Mr. Beast's video, he doesn't ever show the roof, but there's no other stairs behind the camera or behind them. But yet, I thought they were here. So if they were here, then how did they go up? Oh, so that bit is in here, which is this part here. So at the top of the stairway where you then go through the crawly space, I think this part is actually bigger because I believe this goes up. Okay, so I believe this needs to be tall enough to get to this bit, because this is like one of the chambers. And then I don't know how, this doesn't look like there's much space actually between each one. So if I just do a 2 gap, this will be the third. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, essentially. That's what I think. That's what I think it is, based off Mr. Beast's video and the pictures I've got. So then that'll be a ladder up to here, and then I'll do like another ladder up here. Don't know what these chambers look like because he doesn't actually. He went straight up to number 3 at like a perfect square, which I really doubt. Not square, but perfect rectangle. I doubt it's all literally perfect. Although I say that, but the Egyptians who built it seem to be a bit OCD. I need ladders, really. Not a Scooby how many I'll need. Obviously he used like a giant step ladder, but I cannot do that in this game, so we've got to stick with normal ladders. And I want this ladder to change every now and then, so this goes straight up to this chamber. Might make the entrance to this one be a bit different. I'll have the entrance to this one be like this, and then maybe the ladder for the next one is over here. Oh, actually I just realized I can't do that. There's no way of getting in. And then I go up to the 5th layer, which is a bit bigger. So the highest point of this chamber is only slightly taller because of the curved roof, but they still don't seem to be able to stand. So if I think it'll still be 2, but the roof is going to, I'm going to use stairs. Okay, cool. So that's the tallest part of it fully done, I believe. I don't know what to do with this one because he doesn't go in it. Like, if this is correct, it isn't a very big room. Okay, so I've just got to do a weird shaped door. So I'll just do, and I actually can't do that sort of shaped door, so I make it wider. I guess that's like, and then there's this little, I don't know what this is or where this leads, but I'll put it in anyway. Alright, and now I just have to do the bit that's down below. This is 300 foot below. I don't know where from though. And 300 foot in meters, 91 blocks. So I need to go down to -8. Right, so now that's all the way down. I'm just gonna go and replace all of this into sandstone now. Alright, now let me just add the stairs in. Okay, so this room is actually very big. Now, there is actually a crawling space. So you crawl through and then you're in the big room. Basically the same as the other ones where the wall is right here, but this room is rather large because there's a big little? Why did I just say big little? There is a big section around here which is just deeper. So this room I feel like is actually like more this size. And then it also goes quite far back, but it isn't all open. It's quite full of like rocks and stuff. Yeah, I think this looks about the right size. So now I just have to get rid of this area just like that. And now I have to get rid of the roof and turn it all into sandstone as I have previously. And now that that's done, I can create this big hole like that. But there's also like large brick kind of things here. Like it just kind of does that. And then there's another one back here. Just kind of like this. This actually goes quite deep. Sure, let's just say it's like that, shall we? And now I need metal railings to go on the outside, which annoyingly means having to go all the way back up these steps. Right, let's get these railings in. Oh, and now this room is complete. And now I just have to do separate sections that are around. So I need to do this little thingy, and I need to do these 3 tiny pyramids that are next to the small pyramid. So if I look on Google Maps, the tomb of Gaduzirus. There is no tomb of How would you even spell that? That's not what he said. God. Did he say God? It's this one. It's not on the map. Where is he? I can't figure out where he is. Oh, Sphinx is ages away. Oh, I'm not doing this whole layout. Now the interior is done, I think the final 3 things I need to build are these queen... what are they called? The pyramids of queens. That one... so the smallest one is 26. That one's about 30. But they are all about 30 high. What are you looking at? They're all just staring me down. They're like the angels, the weeping angels. Yo, you guys are creepy. Let's go all the way back over here so that I can build these 3 queens. All right, so one starts here. So let's go 24 blocks this direction. 24 that way. And then 10 this way. And that's the base. And now I just have to build this up to 30 blocks high and do 2 more. That's slightly smaller and smaller. Right, well, now that those 3 are done, I now just have to terraform and flatten the ground that's around all the pyramids. So that's going to be a fun, long process. Now, I could make some, like, TNT dupers to mine out this area and flatten it, but nothing beats the manual labor and a ton of pickaxes and shovels. Because if I had gone the TNT route, then it wouldn't have even flattened the area. It would have just made a mess, really, that I'd have to go down and clear up anyway. And probably would have taken me ages to get the materials, build the dupers, set the dupers off, and then have to clean up after it. Whereas at least if I just do it manually, there's no cleaning, there's no material collecting, and there's none of any of that stuff. So I just figured that it's probably going to take roughly the same amount of time in total anyway to do it manually as if I had to build the dupers. But I went through a few shovels and pickaxes in this because I kept on forgetting to keep an eye on the health. But this took ages, so I don't think I'm going to do the rest. But it does help make at least this pyramid look a little bit nicer. And with that bridge done and the lanterns put in, I have officially built all 3 pyramids plus these queen pyramids. I've flattened out this area and decided I'm not going to bother doing these ones because this area alone was so much bigger than I thought it was going to be and took me so long. And I just, honestly, I just can't be bothered to do the same thing with this. Like, all of this bit would take me so long and I just can't, no, I'm not doing all this. So this is having to stay looking like this. This area looks, actually, to be fair, looks fine anyway. But anyway, I have been making this video since October 2024. And as of the 25th of March 2025, it is now officially done. We have got the pyramid of Mangrove, something like that, as well as the interior of said pyramid. Mangrove stands at 66 meters, 218 feet tall, and base of 109 by 109 square. We have got the Queen's Pyramids just outside of that, which are just 3 small ones. We also have the Pyramid of Khafre, which stands at 143 meters tall, 471 feet, and it's 216 by 216 base. I have even created the tomb that's at the bottom underneath this Pyramid of Khafre. And finally, we also have the Pyramid of Khufu, the largest of the pyramids, the Great Pyramid, standing at 147 meters, 481 feet, and has a base length of 230 meters square, as well as, of course, the tombs on the inside. There's the queens, the kings, and yeah, that's basically it. In my last bases video, I built the beach, birch, cherry, dark, and desert biome bases. If you haven't seen that already, go watch it now before you watch this one. Now I'm moving on to build the forest, the ice spikes, jungle, mangrove, and meadow. bases. So obviously the first thing I need to do is collect the materials for all of them. The forest base doesn't actually have that many blocks. It's only about 2,000 blocks. A lot of it is actually grass, which I don't need, seeing as I'm building it in a forest. So now forest is done, I'm going to move on to the ice spikes. Now I have already got this lot, but what's next is a lot of quartz. And I can't be bothered to go mining for all of it, so instead I'm going to take all my emeralds, and I do have mason villages, which when you upgrade them all the way, they give you quartz, or at least have a chance. So I'm just going to stand here and do this until they give me quartz, essentially. Oh, and it gives me polished diorite as well. Cool. The fact that it's only one emerald for all of this is insane. Are they guaranteed to give me quartz? They are. Now, I just have to keep going back and forth and trading with these guys until I have all the quartz I'm going to need. So I actually ended up getting bored having to wait around for the villagers, because I think they can only sell you like 36 blocks a day anyway. And so it was taking a while. So I ended up just going into the nether and manually mining for a ton of quartz. And I made sure to bring portal stuff with me so that I didn't have to worry about where the portal actually took me. I just flew around and gathered as much quartz as possible, basically. Right, now that beacon is set up, I just need to get the rest of my polished diorite, and I need 10 stacks of normal diorite. So I'm just going to demolish this entire area and see how much diorite this gets me. Right, I believe that is all the polished diorite I need. 10 stacks plus 61. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Cool. I need 11 stacks plus 29. 9, 10, 11. Cool. Perfecto. Now, the only thing left on the list is actually ice. And obviously there's no point in me going to collect that because I'm literally going to an ice spike biome, so I can just get it then. The jungle biome is another kind of cool one, but I think it's a little bit too basic, but I think it looks quite cool and it looks interesting, and I feel like it could turn into something awesome. And this one has 3,200 items. The mangrove build is actually one of the smallest builds for this video, and it's actually less than 1,500 items, so that's going to be easy to collect. And then finally the meadow, which is the smallest build I think out of all of the base builds that I have created, with only 1,000 items. And actually less than that, because there's a lot of grass blocks on this list and I don't need the grass blocks. Not a big fan of this base, but you can let me know once you've seen it. You know what? I'm just going to do this live. I'm not even going to prep a script or anything. I'm going to teach you how to build these bases whilst I watch the footage back myself. So for the mangrove base, the materials you need are on the screen currently, off to the left, because there's a lot of space there, so on to the left. And to build this base, you want to start off at the docking area for the boat, and it is I think it's 5 by 5 sort of square area. And then I can't be bothered to figure out these measurements. I'll probably put some graphic on screen to tell you how far apart each of these logs are, but this is just the basing area. See, the thing is, I don't actually know how to build these. I built them all by figuring them out or following a tutorial in creative, and then got a schematic, and then I'm just following the schematic. So I'm kind of cheating. I actually had no memory of how this is even done. But you can kind of see what I'm doing here. At the moment, I'm doing the floor, so I don't actually know why I built it this way. I think I built it this way because I plan to do a tutorial. And you can see so this is the main house area, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it 10? 10 on the longest side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 going across the top there, and then back down another 10. And that's basically the base area, because the outer areas are sort of walking paths, and for there to be plants, bushes, pots with flowers in, whatever you kind of want. This is basically just a baseline and inspiration. I didn't take inspiration from this one. I'm pretty sure I copied it exactly, so it's not even my base idea, but it's a nice cool little base. If for some reason you want to build a mangrove base, or you want to trap witches, this could probably work for them. And then you essentially just put barrels on top of all the mangrove logs that are on the floor and fill in all of the planks, and by planks I mean slabs. And now we change angle, whoa, and we're placing in all of the fences and the fence gates. I didn't realize how much people use fence gates as decoration, you know, and in a lot of these builds there's a lot of fence gates. But you can see the outline is essentially just fences and fence gates and building up the logs again on top of the barrels. And now we're moving on to the actual base part itself. So the bottom layer is surrounded in stone brick, and then there's also walls, I believe, by the entrance, and then mud, bricks and packed mud in the middle. This was an interesting choice, I thought, using packed mud, but it does kind of work with the color palette. And again, that's not something I would have thought of. If I'm building a base, I just think of the sort of standard materials like stone or diorite and wood, but I never really thought to use mud because, to be honest, it's kind of a dull color, but it works with mangrove for some reason. I don't really understand art and design and stuff, but what I'm doing on this side, you essentially just replicate again on the other side with the mud and packed mud to, like, you know, to create the windows. You put the stained glass in the middle there. The front was a bit awkward to build with like Matica, so I'm pretty sure I did put on easy place mode now that I know it works in this as well as creative. I thought it only worked in creative and I was wrong, but it's just using stairs. To be fair, I do use stairs a lot in builds anyway, just to add a bit of depth and texture into the build, you know. And as I said, the other side is essentially just copying the packed mud and the mud situation. That's another thing all these builds have in common: the sticky out logs with buttons on the end. Everyone seems to do that. So now on the outside, to add a bit of extra detail, you're putting trapdoors on top of all the logs, and then you've got a mix of stairs, slabs and trapdoors, mangrove style, above the windows and also above the entrance, along with obviously lanterns for lighting and a mix of flowering azalea leaves because they look pretty. And then I'm not entirely sure why, but this design had composters and I don't know how to describe it, campfires without the fire. I suppose it looks good, I don't know. So all the buttons go on the edge of all of those logs, and you copy the slabs, stairs and trapdoor situation on the other side above the windows. And now we're moving on to the roof. So we're doing an outline in deep slate. There's a lot of different colors in this. You've got your standard gray for the stone, you've got brown for packed mud, you've got the brown and red for the mangrove logs, and then you've got the red for the mangrove stuff. And then you've got, it's not really black, it's like dark gray for the deep slate. But yeah, we're slabbing up one layer of mangrove, covering the slabs, covering the trapdoors and slabs, and doing an outer layer of stairs for deep slate, a mixture of polished and tiled, and basically just randomly put these in. That's all I did. You literally just randomly place them in any order, changing between deep slate tiles and deep slate polished. Just kind of adds texture. And that's another thing that all of these builds have in common, is just the fact that they all have like mixing textures, whether it's bricks or if it's deep slate tiles, wherever it is, they've just like basically mix and match, so it's not all one solid color, which I do kind of get. We're going to build this boat roof up, and as we do, we're also going to put more fence gates and fences on the inside of the roof on either end. And to be fair, this is the sort of thing that I usually do, minus the fence gates, just because I will never figure out, if I'm doing a triangle roof, I can never figure out what to put in that gap. Do I put like glass or do fences? And recently I've just always been putting fences, but never done the fence gates. But essentially you're just going to build up the roof and then be placing fences and fence gates as you go up to kind of block in that each side. And as you do it, on the one side we are going to also put out a little sticky out window area, as you can see over there all the way in the distance. And then when we reach the top, we're covering it in tiled and polished slabs, and then the little sticky out window just in normal mangrove stairs. This is just where I'm putting lanterns on the outside. You do as you please on this part, and obviously make sure you put the glass in. Interior, obviously you can design this however you want. I just copied the original design, as you can see I'm doing now, making sure that you use, actually I don't think that was copying the design. Is this copying the design? I actually can't remember if I copied the design or if I did my own, but either way, do what you want. But I put all the tools and stuff that you're going to need behind where we're currently looking, and then storage where we are currently looking, and then the little enchanting area and a small little furnace smelting area on the opposite side. Then dead center, some more logs leading up to essentially where the bedroom is. It's a very small bedroom, but you don't really need a big bedroom in Minecraft, let's be honest. You just need a bed. And obviously you're going to put ladders leading up there, otherwise you've got no way of getting up. Also make sure you put a hay bale under that campfire, because I actually forgot, so the smoke wasn't going high enough, but that's what you're supposed to do. And then trapdoor the rest of that up. And then again, lighting on the inside so that you don't die from mobs. And now for the forest base, you want to start by outlining an area. I can't actually remember the size of the area. Maybe I should have, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out from one of these screenshots. But outline it in fences, and then on one end, whichever end you decide, really, it's up to you. You put a little area with a fence gate, so obviously you can get in and out of the place. Maybe you actually want to do it on two sides. Otherwise, if you go off in the wrong direction, then you're going to have to go all the way around. But then again, if you've got an elytra, you'll probably just fly in. So the fence gate's kind of useless now that I think about it. But hey ho, it was part of the design. I then moved on to doing a little pond area, which I think looks kind of cool. And you can kind of see what I'm doing with this in time-lapse form. To be fair, you could do this however you want. If you just look at this sort of design, you can style it however you want depending on the area or depending on how big you want it to be. You could make this pond area smaller or larger, but I think it is a nice little touch. Oh, here we go. I'm going to put some graphics on the screen now to show you how large of a space that this is. You're welcome. But then there's a little pen area for animals, and you can dot around randomly, because that's what I did. I just randomly dotted around cobbled stone walls with fence posts on top, because that's where all your either sea lanterns or glowstone is going to go. I use glowstone because that's what the person who actually designed this used. And then I'm currently now using Matica, just digging out all the areas that aren't supposed to be grass, because you're going to fill it all with a mix of farmland as well as gravel and cobble. And it just, to be fair, it's this sort of stuff that I wouldn't really think about. Like, it just adds a little bit more life and realism to the build, because, like, you know, whose house looks exactly perfect and flat outside your front door? No one's, unless you're rich and you can pay for someone to do it for you, but otherwise this is a bit more realistic. And the house itself actually isn't that large. The enchanting area, which I also thought was quite a cool idea, is actually outside in this little corner here. So obviously the barrel's on the floor, that's kind of up to you if you're going to make this, but it does kind of make sense. Maybe you want to have a separate storage area outside as well, make this a bit bigger, I don't know. But the design that I'm using is literally just the enchanting room outside. Oh, and then we put the lighting in. You know how to do that. Just put a glowstone and then surround it in trapdoors. Or you can use sea lanterns, use different trapdoors, or you can just use normal lanterns. You can do whatever the bloody hell you want. It's your life. Live it how you choose. Now, the base itself is actually tiny. It is literally a 9x7. That's how small this house is. It's tiny, with deep slate brick stairs going around the bottom on the outside. And of course you're going to build this up to a sort of normal player height, which normally is 3 high, I believe, and filling in obviously the glass as you go around. Oh, and fence posts for some reason. I'm assuming that's just kind of design. See, I built this and I can't even remember what I did. That's how you know it's not my build. The second layer, you're going to put upside down deep slate brick stairs above the windowsill. Obviously, why wouldn't you do that? And fill the floor in with deep slate brick stairs, and then build it up 3 more, I believe. And then as you go up, do the little sticky out log thing. Like I mentioned, all of these builds seem to have the sticky out log thing with buttons. Apparently that's just a well-known design that everyone has now. And the roof is then deep slate brick stairs, just plodding up with plank stairs in the middle. Oh, and a third layer. I forgot it's got 3 floors. How long ago did I build this? I built this ages ago. And you just build it up until it meets at the top. And then as like another little sort of design thing, have fence posts going down with more glowstone and the trap doors. And then it's just time to decorate however you want to decorate it. But this is how I decorated the house. And again, like I said, And then the last one, I can't remember if this is how I designed it in creative or if this was what the house already looked like, because I can't really remember if this one had a tutorial or not, or if I just went off pictures. But I will find out for you, and if it's a tutorial, it will be linked down below. They all will be. If there's tutorials ever in this series, they will all be in the description below. If there's no tutorial for it, I figured it out myself, in which case just download the schematic, which will also always be in the description. But yeah, this is the design that I went with. And then up top, it's just a little bedroom. The bookshelves are also a common thing that every build has. But anyway, Samuel, what do you think about this space? I think it looks quite chill. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was going to do a tutorial for the jungle base, as I did with the other bases, but I don't know why it's so complicated to explain. I can't really explain it. So instead, I'm just gonna let you watch a sped up version and you can figure it out yourself, or just download the schematic and build it yourself. The materials are on the screen to the left. Yeah, that's what you need. And it's essentially just 3 circle rooms on different layers that go up a couple levels, and you can have stuff in the rooms however you want. I think it looks kind of cool, and it's slightly different to your standard sort of giant tree house or something. So yeah. The ice spikes one is quite cool, and I had to figure this one out myself because the picture I found was actually I randomly came across it on Instagram, and I just saw like a 3D layout. I think the guy designed it in a 3D software, and then I just kind of winged it from there. But it's a large area. It's this many as a square, and then you want to make sure you have these 4 sort of circular outlines, because that's where 4 towers are going to be. Whether or not you fill in the floor or leave it as ice, that is up to you. I apparently forgot to fill all of them, so 2 of them are filled in and the other 2 are left as ice. Then the walls are a mixture of deep slate. No, it's not. The walls are a mixture of diorite and polished diorite with tough blocks. So there's normal tough walls, and then there's tough bricks. And the polished diorite and diorite is a sort of theme that I carry on with this. So you kind of mix and match them as almost like a rundown sort of look, kind of. So I just randomly place them, and the wall bits on the outside, you kind of interchange the deep slate, the polished tough and the brick tough, and you go up. I don't actually know how tall. I'll tell you in a second when I can see the full thing. How tall does the wall go? Oh, that tall. That's how tall the wall goes. The wall is 7 high, and then on the outside you're filling in, just for actually again more sort of depth and texture, it's normal diorite stairs with polished diorite blocks, and then also slabs on the wider sections of the walls. I've only just realized I forgot to turn off quick mode. So in replay mod, there's an option to press Q and turn on quick mode, which essentially only renders blocks and like nothing else. Hence why my player is naked and has no tools or blocks in his hand. Because if you have a large, like I think this replay was like 2.5 hours long. So if you've got a really long replay, it's quite useful to turn on the quick mode so then you can go backwards and forwards through the timeline more easily. But you've got to make sure you turn off quick mode before you export. Otherwise, this is what you get. You get a naked player who's running around with nothing in his hand. And it almost looks like you're in creative mode, which is really annoying. But I turned it back on for some of the other ones. Anyway, then you move on to the towers. So there's 4 of these. They are built as so, with quartz bricks, which is why you need this many quartz bricks. Actually, you know what? Here's all the materials on the left whilst I'm building this one real quick. There's a lot of quartz, and it was a pain in the ass to gather, and I never want to build in quartz again, essentially. But the towers have got dark stained panes in them, and they go up this high. And then you surround with light blue panes, because obviously we're in an ice biome, so it makes sense to have light blue. And then you basically just build 3 more the exact same. This one's actually the most symmetrical build that I've got. The center building is this sort of circle. You can see now if I pause real quick, so I stop building. These are the dimensions of the circle. So it's 5, 2, 2, 1. And then on the front of the building, you also want to build up in blue ice and packed ice. Because again, it's an ice build. You've got to have ice, otherwise Elsa will be mad at you. And then towards the top of this main tower bit, you're going to disperse in some of the polished diorite and normal diorite again, like we did on the walls. And then cover the whole top bit in quartz bricks. And then to connect the main central bit to the towers, you're going to use packed ice and blue ice, and then surround the towers in said blue ice, which is why you need 8 stacks of blue ice. And you've got to build up the central bit, but I started to do it and then decided not to, didn't I? I moved on to finish the towers, right? Yeah. So to finish off the towers, you're going to do 1 more layer of ice on each of them, apparently, rather than just doing 1 and then going to the last one. And then fill it in with slabs and packed ice in the very central square bit of all of them. And you're just going to build up symmetrical on each of the sort of corners with ice and diorite walls, which will all have end rods on them. And then the center bit you're going to build up again, and this is the very tallest part of the tower. So I'm not going to talk over the whole thing. I will show you the dimensions when I get a chance. But you're essentially just going to build the center tower all the way up until you get to the very tippity top, where you do more diorite, you know, interchanging in. And then when you get to this section where you've got the ice, at some point now, you're going to do ice and then no ice, and then ice again, and then no ice, and then ice again, and so on for 3 layers. And now we're at the tippity top. So as we're at the tippity top, you can see I'm building out a little spiky bits in packed ice before I fill in the quartz thing. I think I should have done this differently. I don't like how the top's flat. I feel like the top should be like a point, you know, like most towers and castles and stuff are. But that is the ice spikes done after you've put in all the extra sea lanterns on the towers and stuff. But I think it looks quite cool as a build. I'm not sure I would use it as a base. I didn't even do the interior on this one. That's how unsure I am. I built the thing. It took me ages to build and figure out from just looking at a few angles. These are the 3 angles that I got, by the way. I had to figure it out from that on my phone, so they were tiny as well. I couldn't even zoom in and see loads of detail. But yeah, I didn't do the interior. What do you think? Let me know.
Now that the ice spikes is done, it's time to find where my portal was. Oh wait, I have to look at my screenshots. So around here it is. And I'd have to go back down here, and seeing as that way is home, let's go off this way. About here will do. And now to find the meadow. And I spawned right in one already. Literally my portal is just down there. You know, that's happened with every single one. Every build in this video has spawned me right next to the biome that I wanted to build in. Spawned me in the wrong order, but it still spawned me right next to one of the biomes. Oh, now I've got to clear all of this of mobs. Actually, this looks like quite a nice view to build this base. Plus, there's a village right there. And a pillager right there. So let's get on and build this base, shall we?
And now we move on to, I think, my least favorite base in this entire series. This one, I think this one actually has a tutorial. It's essentially dispersing in diorite, granite, and bricks randomly, and then having some stairs on the walls as well to make it sort of look broken almost. And then the exterior has then just got like a load of leaves. The roof is very simple. It's just stairs going up. But there is one area which kind of have a sticky outy bit. There's a chimney on the opposite side of the house, which again has got, it's just cobble, but it's mixed in with stairs and stuff. I kind of like the fact that you've got stairs making an indent, but yeah, it's kind of almost looks like an abandoned house because it looks like it's sort of broken. Yeah, it's not my favorite. The interior is as simple as this. You've got like a little fireplace area. Obviously you've got your nether wart and your brewing area with furnaces, a little bed downstairs. I just realized I didn't even do the bloody floor. The floor is grass. Oh well, I'm assuming you would change the floor to oak most likely. And then upstairs you got like this little enchanting area which is nice and cute and quaint in the corner. But yeah, it's a very, very simple build. I kind of think it looks alright with shaders on, but it's not really a base that I would ever want to live in. I much prefer living in big bases, but this one does have a village not far away, like down the hill from it. So maybe it can be another one that you kind of expand, but I prefer the birch one. If I'm going to live in a small one, I'd rather the birch one, but let me know. And that is the final base done for this episode. Once again, I ask you all to vote out of these 5 bases. You've got the forest biome, ice spikes biome, the jungle treehouse type biome base, the mangrove, and of course this one, the meadow. Let me know which is your favourite. Subscribe. And I've got the long task of removing all these again. So I've decided to do something stupid. As you can see here, I have got a lot of loose villagers, right? And I haven't really known what to do about them. And I've decided about right here, I'm going to build the Atlantis, the palm in Dubai. But to begin with, I'm going to see what I've got the most materials of and do a sort of outline for this. I don't usually do this. Usually I would spend ages building it in creative and just get a schematic. But for some reason on this one, I want to do it a bit differently and actually show you the sort of thought process of me doing it. Now, because of the color of it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to build out of sandstone and terracotta. But for just the outline, what do I have the most of? Stone. Now over here on my Google window, I've got multiple pictures open to get multiple angles of the Atlantis, as well as an actual Google view. And as you can kind of see from here, there's like on each side, so both of these, it's a symmetrical build, so I only have to do one side accurate and I can just copy it on the other. But there's 2 sections here that stick out, and they've got quite a few rooms each, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 going across. This is the outline I'm going to do. I gotta do this outline. Seeing as I don't need any of these tools, I'm just gonna fill my inventory with stone and get started on trying to do this sort of outline. So, I think this sort of outline works for one of those little sticky outy bits. Now I just need to do something in the middle here that then connects to another one of these that's replicated on the other side, and they both have to join into the central bit. Annoyingly, I can't find a picture of the building from this side. Like in this central bit. This is kind of the closest that I can get where you can see this bit. So it's indented one again, and then obviously that would be a wall, right? And then I'll do this bit the exact same, and now I just need to replicate this on that side. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, now I've just got to figure out the main body bit of the hotel directly behind me. That is the base part sorted, and now I just need to build it up. To be fair, I didn't even get through my entire inventory doing that, so I think I can build it up and obviously plan where each floor is going to end. Well, that should be easy enough. This was the hardest part, I think, of the design. Okay, so that is the outline. I actually am going to run out of stone, so I'm not going to be able to do the entire outline. This is a lot bigger than I was expecting it to be, but I'm kind of thinking of shrinking it down a little bit. My main reason, okay, there's two reasons. One, this is going to take me so long because I am going to do the interiors as well. And two, I think it's going to be a bit too thin for the height. Even though it's like realistic, I think it will look dumb. I think it's going to look very stupid being that thin and that high. I actually think this one is a nice height. So I now have to figure out the ratio. So that one is, yeah, that one's 14, and then this is 22. Is that right? It's actually only supposed to be 21 anyway, but so it's 7 taller. So I'll probably just make it 5 taller. So if I just shrink it all the way down like this, cool. And now that's lowered down just a tad. I'm hoping it will look a little bit better. Or do I need to lower it even more? That is still so much for me to do. That was lowered to the height of that building. And it's still so much. Oh, you know what? Screw it. That'll do. You'll just have to get this video later on in the year. I also want to test something actually real quick. So Dream and Dakadukadu are on about having a 1v1. So I was intrigued and watched Dakadukadu's video, and he jumped onto the side of a cactus and it broke his fall. So if I jump and aim this correctly and land on the side of the cactus... Okay, yeah, no, it didn't work. Anyway, back to replacing all of this with terracotta. That is as far as the terracotta got me. Oh, this is going to need so much. I guess that means I am grabbing my beacon and multiple other pickaxes, ditching the stone and ditching the sandstone, grabbing a few shulker boxes, setting up my beacon, and demolishing this whole area. Alright, so now we have this, and I'm still undecided as to whether or not it's still too big. Because part of me thinks, actually, it's not that bad. Because the sizes of the rooms, and they're all going to be like the same anyway. So I feel like it's not actually going to be that much effort to do the interior, but at the same time, I think it is going to be a lot of effort to do the interior because of how tall it is. So I don't know if I shrink it or if I leave it. You know what? Screw it. I'll leave it. It's more impressive if I leave it. So now we have to do this bit. Well, I'll probably just do this main big central lobby area, And if you look in this picture, it looks white, but then it's blue there, blue there. So I think it's a slight blue tint. The annoying thing is, I don't think prismarine will look good. So I don't know if I go with prismarine or if I go with diorite. I think that's too dark. I've just realized something. This circle bit is supposed to go all the way through to the back. I've made this too wide, or the circle not big enough. Oh, I messed up the circle. So the circle, actually, what I should have done is put the central bit here and then done the circle out that way. Crikey me Charlie. I think I'm actually going to go with the white. Next question, because I honestly cannot be asked to go collect loads of quartz. Do I go polished diorite slabs or quartz slabs? I actually think diorite, because it's not so white, but it's also not so dark. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to move the circle. Oh, for crying out loud. How am I supposed to... Well, okay, I think I've worked out something that would kind of work. It's like this oval. It's not an oval in real life, but I can't really make it a realistic circle without making this massive, and if I make this massive, it will go into this wall. So an oval is going to have to do, which is timely because I'm filming this just after Easter Sunday, so it's an Easter egg shape. Anyway. Alright, so now that this weird sort of... Actually, it looks kind of like a diamond or emerald, to be honest with you. Which kind of fits, because I'm playing Minecraft. I need to do the roof part, so it circles around a bit, and then there's more stairs, and then it goes up a bit more. Well, I'm out of diorite, but I think this works. Still need to fill in these under bits, and then do the center bit. But I need more diorite. See, this is the sort of stuff that is boring to keep in videos, but then I feel like I have to keep in. Otherwise, people assume YouTubers cheat, you know? But screw what you think. I'm going to jump cut to when this is done. Boom, and now I've got 3, well, near enough, 3 full shulker boxes. And now I just got to turn them all into polished. Can you guys get lost? You're really annoying. And now all into slabs. And time to finish this off. The issue is now, right, now that it's finished, I don't like the white. I don't like the diorite. And I actually think the prismarine might look better. Because the issue is I kept on looking over at the picture, and when I look at the Google like Street View, it is blue. And I think it just, I don't know, it looks weird. Maybe it will look fine when the other little sticky out bits have got white as well, and it's all done. Oh, I don't know, I'm going to leave it like this. This part looks stupid as well because it's not a circle, but I've had to kind of change things around and change the shape and everything, but it'll be fine. When it's actually all full, and I've got like this shape thing here, and I've got all the floors in, I'm sure it's one of those trusted process sort of situations. So now I'm going to go back into replay mod mode, and I'm going to do all of these sticky outy bits and all like the balcony bits that stick out along the top layer, just so that I can fully say that this entire bottom part at the front is finished, and then see what it all looks like with the diorite roofs and everything. Okay, so those bits are done. These two look weird, and if you look here, you can see there's an outline of sandstone as well. So I'm going to change those two sides into sandstone, just like that. That was a little bit better. And now I think I'm going to move on to the back side and do these similar sort of buildings on the back. And then I'll actually get on to doing the rooms. Well, actually, I'll do this archway and then I'll do the rooms. Now that all of that is done, I ended up changing the top. Not sure if I already said that. And now that the back is also done, I can get on it and start the actual building. I think I'm going to do the main floors first and just work like top to bottom,
which doesn't actually make sense, but I'm just going to use polished diorite and basically just go across the whole thing. So let's go on and do that now. All of the rooms have floors now. I did also adjust the size of the rooms because even though I had the right amount of rooms to scale, they just weren't wide enough to be able to actually turn it into a sort of room. And even though I'm never going to be going inside it really, I still want it to be enough width to be able to put workstations and beds and stuff in. So I've had to shrink down the amount of rooms that actually are on each floor, but they're now a bit more of a realistic size. Then decided to put some frog lights in because they're a lot easier to farm than sea lanterns are. So I'm interchanging the yellow and the like bluish frog lights. I'm doing that for all of the main floors, if that makes sense. So all of the average rooms, I've got the frog lights in. I also put in all of the blue glass for each room as well. And then I realized for the rooms on the middle two sections, the ones that have sandstone, they also weren't really wide enough, and they're a bit more like they're more kind of suites. They're bigger rooms, so I also had to make the front and the backs of those wider, which was a long process in and of itself, and add in the floors and the balconies for that. I haven't yet put in the lights for those because for those ones, seeing as they're suites, I wanted to use sea lanterns as they look nicer. I also didn't realize that prismarine changes color. Like when I watched back the time lapses, prismarine is changing color, and I thought I was going crazy when I was placing it. I thought I was going crazy because I'd be doing this and, you know, placing the blocks, and it would look this color, and then the longer I placed, it then seemed more bluish. Like it's just changed. It's now blue. It was green 2 seconds ago. So these rooms are in, which means the next thing I need. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get the sea lanterns. Okay, this should have been way wider. Annoyingly, oh for God's sake, this is really annoying me now because now that I've resized these, I feel like that's only one. That's a room. Oh, I've really messed this up. Why did I make this only one wide? This is clearly wider than just one. So why did I only do it one? Hold up, I've confused myself now. I'm not satisfied enough with this just being one wide like this bit is. First things first, I'm gonna go get the sea lanterns and fill those in. And now that all the sea lanterns are in, it's time for me to replay mod this whilst I just realized when I resize this, I'm gonna have to change this as well. Oh, for crying out loud. This is usually why I plan stuff. See, why I made that one too wide? Why didn't I make this one too wide? Why did I do this side different when it literally looks the exact same on the picture? So why on earth did I do this one and that two? I still have to do another pillar though, so rather than making this 3 wide, I'll make it 2 wide. Okay, right, cool. I'm just gonna... And that is officially both of these sides done, filled with glass and all the interior flooring in. Now, I say it's done, but none of them actually have any lights in, so I'm going to do that. I'm probably just going to use, I don't know, I'll probably use sea lanterns for them as well. I think after I've filled all of those with sea lanterns, the next thing I'm going to do is this middle bit, because as you can see, it's got like this weird shape thing over the central column. Before I then move on to this bottom layer, and then I'll get all of the extra detail in and do the roofs and like the little pointy bits on top, and then I'll decorate the interior, and then I'll terraform this outside like this. So first things first, let's do this middle section here, and it's literally just a load of terracotta again, and that means collecting more terracotta because this is all I've got left, and I really don't think this is going to be enough. I already have to come back once, but apparently doing all of the exterior bits that I've just showed you used up all of this.
so now all of these floors have got lights in, and I've finally done this middle section. I think I'm going to finally put ceilings and walls amongst all of these rooms. So the walls and ceilings are going to be quartz. Now, I don't know what type of quartz yet. I think the ceiling's going to be smooth, which is why I've got it here. And I also need a load of glazed terracotta for the hallways, because if you look at this video I found, you can see that the hallways are like a colorful sort of pattern. So I'm going to get that reddy blue glazed terracotta and use that for all the hallways. Yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do now. Montage time again. The only reason why this video is just full of montages is because it's all boring stuff, alright? I'm just collecting blocks and building stuff. So just don't complain and enjoy. Well, it looks like I'm going to need a lot more of glazed terracotta. So I'm just going to build a squid farm. So let me just collect the materials for that real quick. And now build that over here. Now I just need to remove that side, just like that. And now I've got to go and do this side, just like that. And now, hopefully, I should be collecting. I can see them dying, which means I should be collecting stuff. So now I'm going to AFK here for a little bit and see how much I can get. I think that'll do for now. And now I just need some more terracotta. Right, well, all that's full. So let's see how much this can do me. And now time to smelt all this. Time to see how much 4 full chocolate boxes can get me and go back to doing these floors and walls. This build is taking me so much longer than I thought it was going to take. All of these floors are now finally done. Let me pass them through all of the floors. You can see that they're all complete, including all of these rooms. Now what I'm going to do is figure out the stairs. Okay, that is now the stairs all put in. Now I just need a load of beds. Every room has now got a bedroom in, or a bed in, I should say. The right side has got 364 rooms, and the left side has got 300 rooms, which is kind of mad. There's 664 rooms total in this hotel that I've built. And now I just need to get on and do the roof of this and actually officially cap it off. So let me go grab some more terracotta. So now I've got a bunch of terracotta. I've got full shulker box and all of this spare stuff. All I've got to do is build up these sides. I don't know how much to build them up. Do I just build them up one, or do I go up twice? Those bits are way too high. One height? Honestly, let me get some sandstone stairs out here. Actually, it's not even on the edge, it's on top. It kind of looks dumb because it's diagonal, but I actually think that's too high now. I think I just need to put it
No, it has to be there. Yeah, so essentially I just have to put that going all the way around all of the tops. Okay, so something like that. And I think when it's got like the walls coming down, the sandstone walls coming down as well, it'll flow a lot better. But now I need to put the little pointy bits on, just like that. I now have to do basically the exact same thing, but on the other side. More or less looks like it is the same on the back as well. I'm just going to go ahead and do the other 4 corners. I have just realized I messed it up. This is supposed to have 2 extra floors just above it. Why did I not do that? I did it on the front. I got the extra floor on the front, but I didn't do the extra floor on the back. Oh, I hate my life. I hate my life. Oh, I hate my life. Now that that is done, after I've put the glass in, now that it's done, I can continue with this outside. Now that that's actually the right level. Alright, so all the roofs are finally done. Now I think I'm going to go and add the extra detail on the outside. So I think upside down stairs are going to be here and sandstone walls down the center around the entire thing pretty much. And then that's basically it. So there's upside down stairs on this part, but in between each one there's got to be a bigger one for there to be lanterns sitting on it. Don't know if that looks too silly. You can't see what I'm looking at, but I'm looking at the picture and it's like a triangle type thing, but I can't really do that. Kind of like that. I've just got to do that all the way around. How to do the big ones on a corner? How do I do that same thing but on a corner? Yeah, that works, I suppose. And now these walls need to come up about there. Something like that we'll have to do. Do the same thing on all these other walls. Cool, now all that's done, I need to replace these. But I feel like I need to do something up here because this looks dumb. Yeah, I think I'll just do this. Oh, you son of a... That is that done. These are supposed to be balconies, but I didn't make them balconies. And so, but it kind of looks weird. It looks weird just flat. I mean, I can make them balconies, but it'd just be kind of annoying. Because then it would mean having to move this entire wall in one. That just does look better, doesn't it? Oh. Okay, I think that looks a lot better than that does. It's a lot more full. I don't think I'm going to bother doing it on this side, though, because that would just be more awkward. I don't think it really needs it as badly as the fronts did. I just need to do the same thing on this side. And then the back. All of the detail is finally in. I even did these outsides as well. And I've got all of the back in. I was curious with how much footage I actually have. And the number I'm about to show you does not actually express how long I've been playing this game just to build this for. But you can see how this number starts at 1, right? If I skip to the end, that means it's almost 20 hours of footage. It's 19 hours and 54 minutes of footage. But as I've said, there's a lot of time lapses. So like me doing all of this detail, which you've just seen, has been sped up into like 10-second clips. But it actually took me like an hour per each of these bits of detail.
These all are all like 2-hour recordings. It's probably closer to like 50 hours. And I'm not finished, but I almost am. So now I'm going to do the floor of this. Just quickly before I do that, I did have the idea to add little bits of walls and then lanterns going up the center of each of these. Okay, so that is that side donezo. I'm probably just gonna, I might just go around in a circle. Like that. That look alright? Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, and now I'm just gonna do the rest of the sides. So as you can see, in the flashback mod, there's an option over here for override time. And you can literally make it any time you want. So that's how I made this entire time lapse in nighttime, for those of you wondering. So now it's time to do the floor, and that means I need a load more brown terracotta. I actually don't yet have an idea for how I'm going to design the floor, but I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to start placing spruce and the terracotta in any sort of pattern until I figure out something that looks decent. Now I think about it, I don't actually think I'm going to need this much. But let's get a load of spruce. I'm just going to bring a load of logs. And now I just need to smell all of this brown terracotta to make glazed. Now that is done, I can get started on the floor. Oh, it's like a star. That's the sort of pattern I'm trying to make. Okay. I don't know. There's something off with... maybe I just use more of this. In my head, I'm kind of thinking maybe like making this wider, but also maybe making a strip this side and this side, and then having the center be wood, basically the opposite to what I've done up there. But I don't really know. So I think I actually prefer the look of this. It might be too much, but I kind of think it works. I've got to do a layer of sandstone going all the way across from here until the other side. Well, all of this level's done. Now I just need to do the exact same thing on the other side and then figure out this middle bit, 'cause it's going to look slightly different. And then I'll move on to the sort of basement-y type area, or I won't. I left gaps around all these edges and here because I want to have a different color on the inside of the wall. I don't want it to be terracotta, so I'm probably going to fill it with probably quartz bricks again or something similar. But yeah, let's get on and do that other side just like this. I actually decided to move the floors down all the way to the bottom layer, which is annoying because obviously I built the entire thing just to then have to delete it and move it down a layer. And now I've got the floor ready in this central bit. Well, I mean, I've got the sandstone part ready to place the floor on. And the reason I moved it down is because I almost felt like it made more sense and also easier for me if I can do stairs down out the back as well as stairs up at the front just to meet the central level. And then rather than having the entire floor be on the same level and then have to do something different on the basement, I'd rather just do more stairs down. But for now, I need to put the floor in. Could I maybe use this? I like the look of the blue, but I don't know what else I would do. But that's too mismatchy. That was actually close. Oh, none of these are close. I actually prefer the look of the blue pattern. So glad I built this, because literally, like, whilst I'm just in the area, it's automatically making me extra fuel. So even when I'm not using it, it's just restocking in fuel, so I never even have to go down there. Although I don't know why this happens. Look, let me go into spectator mode real quick. For some reason, on this side, it goes straight into the hopper, look. But on this side, it just piles up. Like, why? Does anyone know the reason why? Also, if I did go into spectator mode, why would I leave it in the video? Like, not only would I have had to record it, but I also would have had to, whilst editing it, I would have had to decide to keep it in there. That would just be dumb, wouldn't it? I feel like that should connect. Like when I was doing this one, you've got that pattern connecting, and then all of the circles connect. So, is there a picture? Yeah, it is supposed to connect. It's supposed to look like that. It just doesn't, though. Okay, so that's now all filled in. So my plan is, because for the rest of these floors, I've left a gap because I want to change what the inside wall looks like. So it's not just plain terracotta. And I'm going to do the same here. So there's going to be like another color wall there. And that's going to be different color wall. So first things first, let me line the floor. that's all in, and now I'm gonna have to go grab some more pillars. I'm not gonna do all of the walls and pillars, so I only need enough for in there. So let me just go fill up all of these three. First of all, it would probably be a better. First of all, it will probably be a good idea to get some more fireworks and actually have a fortune pick, which is not healed up. It's the only thing with these new chunk loaders. I've got to do that every time I turn it off. Ah, and I forgot my sword. What is going on with my brain today? Now that's healed back up, I can now go and get some more quartz. So I actually decided to use my silk touch anyway, because I realized if I have 3 shulker boxes of ore, I can actually get more out of it. I think next time I need a little quartz, I'm just going to make a bartering farm because that took me so long to do and I can't be asked. But anyway, for now, this will do. I think I actually made too many pillars. Now that I think about it, I don't think I actually need as many as I've created. Yeah, I did not need anywhere near as many pillars as I thought. Although, I just thought about it, I need to do this bit as well. Well, that worked out perfectly. Now, I need to get prismarine to... So I want stairs there. Then I'm also going to need slabs, cover the tops of that. Let's get replacing this sort of stuff and capping off these tops. Now, I just need to do the inside walls on here. And then I can go on and do like the glass and the prismarine decoration that's on the outside of all this. So once I had done all of the interior walling on both sides, I then went ahead and did the fountain in the center, which I think is a very simple fountain, but I think it turned out all right with like a little lantern above it. I then realized that I actually had missed some sandstone detail on the outside of the building, so I had to go around and line the entire building with sandstone on the same layer, as well as add some more sticky out bits with lanterns. Before I then moved on to the very bottom windows, which have the prismarine as well as the glass. And I think that actually also ended up looking alright as well. It's not perfectly accurate to the build, and I think that's because I didn't really build it accurately enough. What I should have done, to be honest, is I should have done it layer by layer and tried to copy the photo if I wanted it more accurate, but I think it's close enough for Minecraft. And then all I had to do is terraform the entire outside, mainly just removing sand so it's all flat and on the same level. Now here we are. We've got it all flat. And now all I've got to do is create this like water feature area that's the front. So I think this needs to come out a bit. I don't know. I'm just going to do something. I think something like that will do. So then this will hold the water, and then I've just got to somehow do some sort of stair outline. It's not going to be exact because I can't make it exact. I'm playing a game that's blocks. Right, and then... Oh, actually, it is blue. It's like a blue wall. So then do I use light blue, or do I use dark blue? I think light blue looks better, which is annoying because I've got less of it. Right, so then this one, the stairs are on that level. There's just like a small one here, and then there's another big one underneath it. I think it's gonna be 2. And then literally like right underneath this, there's another one. Basically the same size as the first ones I did. The stairs kind of end like here. I think it'll have to do. These parts look kind of strange, but this flowing looks alright, and those two sides look alright, I think. There's only so much you can do in this game anyway, and my creative juices are just questionable. So that'll be fine. And now that I've got that in, I've actually got some sort of shape to figure out the stairs up into the entrance. So the stairs actually need to start here. I think probably just something like that works, to be honest with you. And then there's going to be some sort of fences or something going up the sides. Now I can't. Somehow I've got to do the same thing on the other side. How am I going to do this? I just randomly place that. Okay, that's done. And now they are both the same. Doesn't really look anything like the actual thing, but it will do. Whilst I'm here, I'm gonna just fill this in with... Never mind. No, I'm not, because I put the glass back. Okay, well, I'll get the glass, but I also need sandstone walls, and I'm gonna throw lanterns on top of them. Now, I just want to put some sea lanterns in the fountain. Cool, that looks alright. I kind of want to put lanterns under here, though. And then I just need some of these. Don't know what that will do. I don't know. I'm just kind of making it up. And now I've got to make the decision as to whether or not I leave it like that or I terraform the whole place. Because there's no point in me putting like that stone and andesite flooring in if I'm then not going to do the rest. So I kind of have to make a decision. I don't care enough about the villagers to make it look nice. And it's just going to take me so much longer. Whereas if I leave it as it is, then all I've got to do is do a bit more terraforming to make it look neater. And maybe just replace all the sandstone with sand so it's even. And also make the back even because of this little bit here. That's a bit more raised. And then I'm basically done. I just need to put the villagers in and the villager breeders in. Terraforming actually took quite a long time. There was a lot to do on the back with filling in the sand or replacing the sandstone. But finally got it done so that I could then move on to put in the walls going all the way around the entire thing, and then also adding lighting onto those walls just to make it look a little bit cooler at night. And I decided to go with like a weird shaped version and also a smaller version of the villager breeder I already have outside. I just did like 2 layers of it. So hopefully this works automatically. I kind of had to change up the design a little bit to make it so that villagers could just pop out and then just be roaming around instantly. But now I can officially chuck all of these shulker boxes back into my storage. And just seeing all of these shulker boxes lined up, this is how many shulker boxes it took to build this thing. There's 43 shulker boxes here. 43 shulker boxes. I'm so glad this is over. But yeah, I chucked all that in my storage. And then removed this, like, rail cart system that I had to move the villagers back and forth. Because all the villagers that are currently in my thing actually came from this. And also boats. But mainly this. I literally just set this up and made it go back and forth. I can remove that now. And now it is finally done. This thing has got over, I think, almost 700 rooms in it. 14 floors or something like that on the tallest part. Has taken me like over, I think, 50 hours. I don't even know. I've got like 30 hours of footage to go through. But it is finally done. But I did also open this up because they were all hanging around here. So I opened this to allow them to get in. And now they're all just kind of stuck in this area. But you can see villagers are wandering in. There's villagers in the lobby. I don't think there's any Oh, there are some upstairs. Look, someone got jobs and stuff. They're using their rooms. And on this floor. They're actually wandering around at the floors. And this one. But that's it. There's none on the other. It's only the one side for some reason. But hey ho, they are using it. But anyway, I don't need that anymore, so I think there's only one thing left to do. For those of you claiming I copied Mog Swamp, he's just took inspiration from the same building. So if anything, we've both copied Dubai, but mine is more accurate. So yeah. And on that video, someone commented saying that I should do like a fun fair or something. And that actually sounds like kind of a fun video idea that I'm hoping won't actually take me too long. I'm also going to invite 3 subscribers onto my world to take part in the games to win tickets in exchange for money prizes. So if you want me to do another video like this, hit the like button. And if you want to possibly be a part of it, then hit the subscribe. Get me past 20,000. I kind of want to build it in this section so that it's part of my sort of world area. And before any people comment saying that I copied Julian now, I did take inspiration from his video. He's like the only person I could find who's done this in a hardcore world. And I took inspiration on like 1 build, I think, maybe 2. You're gonna make sure the entrance is about here, but I want all of this to be level. So I'm just gonna do that. It's gonna be a mix of mining and also bits of terraforming. Also, I seem to have damaged my mob switch. So that apparently no longer works because I blew stuff up, but oh well. And now that all of that is clear, I think I'm going to prematurely clear the space for the redstone builds. Well, collecting all those materials took way too long, but it's now time to start building. So the first build I'm going to build is the Ferris wheel type thingy, which is going to be just here. The entrance is going to be around this area somewhere, and then around this empty space there's going to be greenery, bushes, and maybe food trucks or something. But for now, I'm just going to get on and build the Ferris wheel. On the inside here, I've done this pattern where they chop and change between vertical and horizontal. And that's literally just because of my cherry base that I built. So if you haven't seen that build I'm talking about, go check out that video. I then also plastered the outside with fence gates and normal fences to add even more texture, because otherwise this would have literally just been one flat square. And annoyingly, I actually think this is the most like detailed build, even though it's just a rectangle. And now I can get started on the actual wheel bit, and it goes like this. And now all I gotta do is top these with lanterns and place some around the outside here. And that build is done. Obviously we're gonna terraform that, but that is my little Ferris wheel thing. There's no, should I do a ticket stand or do I just leave it? I actually don't know what to do. Yeah, I always feel like there's no point because, you know, it doesn't work anyway. The next one I'm gonna build is the whack-a-mole, which is gonna be in this space here. And there's a lot of redstone. It's a design by Mumbo Jumbo, which was uploaded like 7 years ago. And there may be an easier way of doing it now, but I'm not redstone savvy enough to actually like figure out a simpler way of doing it. So I've just copied him. So now that all the redstone bits are done, I just need to come here and make 6 non-stackable items. So I think I'm just gonna make 6 like wooden pickaxes or something, and then I also need 3 different stackable items, so I'll probably just use the 3 different types of wood that I've got, I suppose. And now I've just got to put this in and pray that it works. So in each of these now I need to do this, where I need 9, not 6. Good maths, me. And to my understanding, it's because the stackable and non-stackable items give off... Oh, I don't have my headset on, so I didn't hear that. To my understanding, it's because they give off like different signal strengths or something. So it would mean that when the pickaxe is chosen, that's when those will be pushed up. But if anything else goes in there, it won't be pushed up. Okay, well, they're going up, but for some reason those 2 in the middle aren't going back down. And these 2 aren't moving at all. What could be the reason for that then? See, why is that staying powered and that one isn't? And neither is that one. Why are some of them Why are all of these powered? Is it because there needs to be a gap rather than it being right next to each other? I'm going to build this, but leave a gap exactly where my crosshair is in my creative mode world. Okay, so spacing it one apart works. Which means I now have to put this into my world, and I got to delete everything and move it all. Once I sorted out how to make the whack-a-mole thing work, I also went into my testing world and tested a timer so that I could press a button so that when I get people to try it, I don't have to manually turn it on and off. I could just press the button and then it starts for a certain amount of time. I think it's about 30 seconds. So they've got 30 seconds to try and get all of them. And then it stops. And then I moved on to the other 3 games. So we've got a dunk tank type thing and a basketball court, as well as a, throw the ball at the pots. This is where the design gets a bit boring, and I might actually end up changing the design, but I actually don't know what to. And these pots are going to be filled with a different number of tickets. So again, they'll have a certain amount of time and to just throw snowballs at all the pots and hit as many as possible. And then I moved on to building the racetrack. So this racetrack is going to have a certain challenges. The one challenge being to actually just go around as fast as possible in a boat. But there's this little lava pool leap thing, as well as there's cactuses to avoid. And over these pressure plates and then in the dispensers, there's going to be poison arrows. So obviously you've got to make sure you go through that fast enough to avoid them without then hitting the cacti on the other side. So now we've only got 4 more builds left, I believe. We've got our big drop roller coaster. We've got a light tunnel roller coaster. We've got a target shooting game and also a log flume. Fume? Is it flume or fume? So for this one, this is just a chilled one. This isn't an exciting ride. This isn't a game where you can win tickets, anything like that. It's just it's just a chill little ride that goes round, and I'm going to have a number of boats that just keep going. So all you've got to do is walk up the stairs and enter one of the boats, and you can just kind of have a chill little, it's like a lazy river type thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and build that behind me. I'm dumb and didn't click record, but I will record the rest of this in time-lapse form. Okay, now we just have to test this thing. Cool. Now I'm going to make a few boats and just kind of leave them floating in there. Alright, that's the log fume done. Log flume. I think it is flume actually, because fume is like fumes. I think before I move on to the roller coasters, I'm now going to go ahead and build this shooting target thingy. Now this has got fly machines and a load of bits of redstone, and I've decided to go with yellow glazed terracotta because, well, I'm in the desert, so I thought yellow made a bit more sense. And then I've got the standard sort of outing decoration, the same as the other 2 games with the stone brick and the andesite, which again I might be changing. Now I believe that is done. I just need to put a stack and a bit of items on this side here, and I don't think it matters what item, so I'm just going to use sand. Now I think this should be a minute-long timer. I'll just put some items in here so that I can test to make sure that when I hit the targets, things get shot out. Okay, moment of truth. Now, these should start going back and forth. Should see it. Okay, why is that stopped? I forgot to remove these. And now will it work? No. Oh, okay. Why'd you stop again?
Oh my Christ. Third time's a charm. Okay, what? Okay, yeah, sound's being played. It's just very quiet. I didn't put a roof on it, but they are shooting up. Okay, it is indeed working. Obviously, I'm gonna have to put the flooring in and stuff, but the machine works. And I'm gonna wait for the flooring until I actually do the rest of it. Now, I'm gonna move on to the drop roller coaster. I'm saving this one till last because it's the biggest one and it's gonna take me the longest. So I'm just gonna keep putting it off. Alright, so that is now all of like the game's built. So how this works, I'm actually gonna probably have to flip this round because you know you enter from this side, not the other side. You can press the button, get in the minecart, and then it will slowly, there you go, slows down as it gets to the top, and you'll just drift over and then fall and keep going. And then there's another drop. Yeet. Go around, and then the minecart will get destroyed by the cactus, go into the hoppers, and you can reuse it. And then the light tunnel one, if I turn off my full brightness, goes over the detector rail, and these lights on the floor as well as on the ceiling go. And then you fall down these tripwires, light that up. Same thing happens down here. And then we got the tripwires again. Don't know why it's so laggy. Did I just get shot by something? And you already know how the shooting one works. Cool. So now all I've got to do is deal with the floor. So the floor is going to be on this level as to cover all of this. So I don't know if this is going to look weird if it's on line with the floor. The same as that. But actually, yeah, I should have maybe put this one up. Oh well, I guess I just won't have stairs up. But yeah, that's what I've got to do now. I'm going to cover the majority of the floor in sandstone, but I was thinking when I was messing around in the creative world that I have like this sort of outline for a path, just like the logs on the outside and then the planks as the path that lead to each place. But I kind of only want to make it a couple wide, so anything that's on the outside of that, so if this is the path here, then this is just going to be sandstone. And I might put like bushes and leaves and stuff here to fill this in. Same with on this side as well. That's going to be fun for me to do. Probably just going to another time lapse it because it's currently 30 degrees in the UK and I can't record voiceover without with the fan on because it's probably too loud or making my voice sound weird. And I don't want to melt. So I will get back to you when it comes to, as though the next stage of filling in the tickets and making ticket stands and food trucks and stuff. Okay, so I've managed to terraform everything all around, having to make it look all kind of natural to a point, but the sandstone on its own looks kind of boring. I know there's going to be other stuff on it, but I wanted to kind of mix in bits of sand, but also
I don't actually have it anywhere. But there's also going to be birch logs dotted around. And I might, just so it matches up with these buildings, I might put in some stone or something as well. I don't know, I've kind of got to figure out now. Do I do the floor, or do I put in these extra plants and food trucks and stuff and then do the floor and stuff afterwards? Oh, now I've got to redo all of this bloody terraforming. Oh, also, I wanted to point something out. So, when I first made this hotel, villagers weren't, like, going in it, right? Have a look at this. So you got some in this area, but, like, and you got people out back and everything, yeah? We're just going to free camp so it's easier. No one on this floor, right? But if I go all the way to the top, they're all up here. What? Why? How does this happen? Why did they all migrate to the top? Look at them living life in the penthouse suites. But yeah, I noticed that when I was flying past, they're just pinning the top. Well, that's not very safe, is it? That's not. Yo, don't do it. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish this off now real quick. Alright, I think that'll do. Because I know I want to try and make this stone and andesite, I think I'm gonna do this one first. See how it looks. I don't really like the look of this. And I could put some bushes there. Now I just need to get some stone and andesite. Cool. I've got a mixture. I had the idea to surround these bits in chiseled. I think that actually works. Why does that look weird? Yeah. But if I'm going to do that, that does mean I am going to have to add patches of that elsewhere as well. So like I might add some of it kind of coming out here and then have it gradually turn into sandstone stuff around like each of them. It's then just a question of what I'm doing with this, because if I was to build these walls up here, these signposts are going to be an issue. But if I build something up here, then I think it will look weird from the inside, having that gap. To be fair, I could just move the signposts. You see, it's not just looks boring. So, what can I do? I don't like it. That's too fair. That kind of look. Does it look okay? Not really anything I can do here. Then how do I fix the look of the slabs? Do I or don't I raise this by 1? Is the question. I think maybe yes. Get out of my log flume. Oop. 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 Meh. Oh, that's just frustrating. Okay, so I've got some lights in, and I decided to light up the racetrack a bit more. Obviously, as you literally just saw, so I don't even know why I'm explaining it. I'm going to wait until it's dark before I do the rest of the lights, because it's just a lot easier to be able to see light levels rather than having to run around and read off that thing. So for now, I'm going to do my plan for this area, and the reason why I left this as it is because I thought it might be quite cool to have this roller coaster like overlooking water. So actually what I need to do is make this all level and then fill it up with all source blocks and then remove all the blocks again. Now, I've been thinking, do I build up some walls here? Because I want it so that when you go up here, you can then see down and in. So do I or don't I maybe like line it with glass or something from here, this level, and follow it down? Or do I only have an entrance like here? Actually, before I do that, let's see where else need lights. So I went with bamboo trapdoors because of the deserty theme, if you couldn't figure that out. Oh, where did you spawn then? Is anywhere particularly dark? Oh, in this bit is. But I think in this bit I'm going to have like, do I do water again or do I just do bushes? Normally log flumes have water here, don't they actually? Not that it makes much difference, but I think I'm going to make the floor stone brick. Yeah, something like that. That'll do. There's a bit of a pattern there. Cool. And now I have to do a similar thing over here. Oh my god, I'm going to have to change this floor as well. That is depressing to think about. Not only do I have to now remove all of this, but I'm going to have to change all of this sandstone. Once I had built up the area in and around the roller coaster, I moved on to collecting the materials, just basically andesite and stone brick, to build up the walls around the area, as well as topping it with leaves as well. I don't know why, I just did. I think maybe it was inspired by Julian as well. I'm not 100% sure. And then fixing the terraforming, because I didn't want it to like smoothly go down straight from the wall into the sandstone. So obviously I had to clear all of that up a little bit. I then worked on doing like a path from the entrance rather than it just being all sandstone. Initially I was going with wood in the center and then stone and stuff on the side, but I switched it round in the end. And then I just went around randomly digging out space for sand and birch planks just to add a little bit more texture into the flooring. I also went around in front of the basketball games and stuff with andesite and stone brick, just to make that blend into the floor a little bit more. And I created the same sort of style pattern on the floor with andesite and stone brick to mark out where I want the food trucks and stuff to be. And then I collected some azalea leaves and oak leaves, as well as I think I used spruce leaves to create sort of leafy areas to make it, you know, a little bit more patterned. And I added some pond areas as well, just to fill the place out a little bit more so it wasn't all fully flat, and also adds a bit more green and other colors and stuff to the build itself. And finally planted some azalea trees as well. Okay, it's looking a lot more full now. And you still need the food trucks, but I had an idea. So in Mumbo Jumbo's world, he has got like signs that I don't know what the type of lettering is called, but basically it spells out in a big word, like one sign per letter, the like big Rons and all that sort of stuff. So I had the idea of doing a similar thing for each of these for like the entrances. So if I had like an entrance here, I was just going to put like Ferris wheel. But then again, now that I'm thinking about it, it probably won't look that special, because all it's going to be is just signposts. How can I make an entrance to things look nicer? You know what? I'll test it on the ball throw. What does it look like if you put a sign on a wall? Yeah, I thought that happened. Okay, a sign on a wall is float. It's possible, but it does float. I might have to actually, because I feel like this would look too chunky. If I did what my other plan is, which is to do this. Well, that's kind of annoying. Ball toss? Ball toss would be better. T-O-S-S. So it looks something like that, but it would be glowing. I don't know. Part of me thinks it looks alright, but part of me also thinks it looks kind of weird how it's just like there on its own, standing. I actually think that looks fine. Like I'm questioning it, but I do kind of like it at the same time, especially when it's actually glowing. So the next one, which is basketball. This is going to be an awkward one. I will link the website that I'm using for these letters in the description. Oh, actually, basketball doesn't fit nicely because ball is 4 and that's 5. Could I do, rather than basketball, I could do basket throw. My maths is wrong. Basket is 6 letters. Well, I mean, it's quite self-explanatory what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going around and adding these signs to each one. Just before I do that, let me show you the website. So this is the website. Like, if you want a letter A, you have to, that's line 1, that's line 2, line 3, line 4. So you've got to click that button to copy it, and head over to Minecraft and Control V to paste it, enter, and then copy the next line, and so on and so on. Okay, so now all these signs are in, I'm going to need... I think I'm going to have to change the color of some of them. For example, whack-a-mole. I need to change the color of the A so it separates the A and the mole. So as it looks like a mole. Is one word. And I need a ton of glow squid. So how much... I'm just going to quickly count so I can get the right amount. I need 83 glow squids. And I think I actually only need one... change color dye. Unless I might actually change them all to white. When I first started this build, I had all my chests and stuff organized, and over time it's just become much less organized. I definitely got access to red dye because of the iron farm, but I don't have any glow squid. Where I normally get my glow squid from is over here somewhere, because I think there's a underwater like cave bit. There they are. This isn't the one I was talking about, but it will do. Oh, finally got all of them. Jesus Christ alive. Also, hey for you for killing anyone else off, because it's killing me off, and I don't agree with it. I don't. Right, let's. Oh wait, yeah, I need to see if I've got. I think because I spawned in the azalea trees, but I didn't use all of the bone meal. Right, let's see first off what this looks like in white. Boosh, 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 boosh. Does it look better white, or does it look better... Oh, I feel like that looks weird. I know, it's got to be white. But then, do I keep that black? I don't like it. What does it look like red? Kind of think that works. I don't want to... I mean, actually, I've got plenty of red dye, just not plenty of white. What does it all look like red? That looks ominous. I can't do it all red. Okay. White it is. Cool. Can you plant bamboo on sand? You can. I think dotting some bamboo around would be a good idea. Okay. I need a wee. Alright, so what I want to do now, I'm going to put the food trucks and stuff on these bits. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little building things. So I'm just collecting the materials for these food trucks and stuff. I need 50 string. Where did these boats come from? Did they somehow... 1, 2, 3... There's 4 boats in here. How many did I put in? How would those boats have gone from here to there? How would that have happened? I am confuzzled. So I've decided I'm just going to do 2 food trucks. There's going to be like a standard food truck and then a burger truck. And then there's going to be a drinks one. And then I'm going to have to make one large sort of ticket stand. So rather than making 6 things, I'm going to make 3 things. And then on one side, I will... Yeah, I'll just turn it into one large... I don't know, I'm picturing it in my head. Maybe I should have explained it when I actually came to building. Okay, I now have... the location set up. Drinks, because if it's a nice warm day like it would be in a desert, probably want to get a drink straight away as soon as you walk in. And then in this section I left the larger space on purpose so that I could add the food trucks in. You've got the normal food truck and then you've got the burger stand. And then I will put the ticket stand here. I haven't built that yet because I'm going to wing it whilst I'm recording. So let's just get on and build these. So those are now in. Cool. Fills out the place a little bit more. I'm busy. Now, because I still want to outline it with... probably just be a single. And then if I remove all of this stuff and replace all of these gaps with grass instead, and then I'll carry on this outline of logs. And then I reckon we do a larger green patch here.
And that grass should spread. Do I want... I reckon leave the rest as it is, because it is still in the desert, so it does make sense for it to be mainly desert. Okay, so that's that bit. I'm probably going to have to move this out of the way for the ticket stand. I don't actually have a lot of space for the ticket stand, but I'm hoping it can just fit in there. That is the ticket stand now complete. I do have to wait till it's night time to make sure all of this lighting is fine. But as you can see, I've got 100 tickets. They just get their social media in the description. 200, they get to pick the next video idea. 350, they can basically just destroy any build they want. 400, burn whatever is in my inventory at the time. And then 550, I'm going to give them 100 quid. So now... the only thing left to do really is to set up the games. And to do that, I am simply going to use my villagers. Oh, I need string for a bow. And then I need efficiency 3 on a wooden shovel, because I did some tests and I felt that was the most fair, because it didn't mine the sand so quick that it's just easy to do the whack-a-mole thing, but it also wasn't so slow that the sand just disappeared. I haven't used this. Have I ever used this room? I actually can't remember. Efficiency 2 is fine. No. Okay, well that's 3. Cool, that'll do. My brain is not braining. Why did I get books out to enchant? Header. Yeet. Right, let's just get these bows. Coolio. Might have to do something with this place. It does spawn mobbers. Let's put all those in there. So now I just need like 2 full shulker box amount of snowballs. 2 shulker boxes. Yay. Can I deconstruct snow blocks? No. Oh, I can actually, because if I mine them with a normal shovel, what I'm about to do makes no sense physically. Because how is there snow in the desert? And now just to fill these chests with every single one of them. And now I need a lot of paper. Oh, thanks past me. I've got the annoying process. Why did I not put stairs on these? The annoying process of having to rename all of them. So I decided to put a roof over it. I just went with a load of fences and then like a birch and spruce type of roof. But then on the inside, I've made it like to match the pattern of what I've done on the floor with sea lanterns. So just adds a bit of light. But now I think there is one more sort of activity like game that I wanted to add, because I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Julian? His video, he had one where you ride around in a roller coaster and you've got to try and shoot these armor stands, and you get like certain amount of tickets per armor stand. And I like that idea, but I wanted to add my own sort of twist to it, because his racetrack was actually in the Nether. And then I had the idea of, what if I did a roller coaster surrounding this entire park, then you enter the Nether and then come back out the Nether on the other side. Now, is this gonna put me in there for some reason? Okay, it hasn't. Now, this one is more likely to connect to that. Yes, as I thought. Could I not just like... Okay, so those portals work, but now I'm trying to decide if I even want to do it. I like the idea of it, but the execution is another question, because how do I make it look good unless I make it underground?
space here to be able to put armor stands to shoot. So I probably actually want to do something more like this. Okay, so now I've got those spaces. I just need to plan out the path. Okay, and then I just need a load of normal rails. And then coming out the other side, I need to do the same thing. So... And then if this works, I need to put the armor stands in and figure out how many tickets you get per armor stand. And then I need to make a path coming around here. It might almost be too fast. Yeah, I feel like that's too fast. What I might do is probably have it just slow down when he goes past these. So that might be alright. I'll have to just test it by actually going through and trying to shoot stuff to see if it works. Now just counting how many armor stands I need. There's 10 on that side. Now, how many of each one do I want? I'm not going to do full armor. I might just put helmets on each of them. Alright, test time. I'm gonna take this, get in here, and I'm gonna see if it's even possible to shoot stuff, and if they even break. Okay. Huh. Okay. Okay. Huh. Well, that needs to be way slower. Okay. I have basically replaced everything with just normal rails. So we'll see if this is any better. Okay, the lag really doesn't help me. Okay, got one. Why is it so laggy on a single player? Okay. Okay. Bit of power at the top here. Oh, it's still super laggy, but it works. And now I just need to create a path that goes around there. Okay, cool. I think that will do. And it's just kind of luck of the draw as to whether or not it lags. I've never made a solo world into multiplayer before, so I don't know how bad that's going to be. But I guess I will find out, won't I? I think with that, I am now officially finished. Right on day 4,500. Time to invite some people to do this. I just realized I'm not done. I don't have an entrance. You know the other annoying thing? I looked at some Google images of theme parks, and now when I look at this, I don't like it. I don't like the stone and andesite. It needs to have more color and more sandstone in, I think. So I managed to figure out what I wanted. On the 3 games on the left, I decided to go with like a blue, red, blue sort of thing. I kept the interior as stone, just mainly because I couldn't be asked to change it all, but also because I still think it kind of works. And then obviously the shooting one with the yellow glazed terracotta, I changed it to yellow. But I decided to keep the roller coasters grey because the games are colourful and the roller coasters are not. And that is also because I couldn't be asked to change this. But we've got the colourful buildings and we've got the entrance sorted. But now there's only one thing left to do, and that is to get people in and see how many tickets they win. I don't want to lose £300. I can't really afford to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. Now introducing the first person. I don't know if I want to call you Smeller better or can I just call you Bella?
Yeah, that's fine.
Why the Smeller?
I used to get called it in school.
Oh, that's...
Everyone thinks my first name's Bella, but it's not.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, because your name on here is Smeller Bella.
Wait, I don't like my character. Can I change it quick?
You know what? That's going to be the introduction to you, by the way. What do you want to do first? Do you want to do the rides? Do you want to go straight into getting tickets so you can get prizes? What do you want to do?
I want to try whack-a-mole.
You want to do the whack-a-mole straight away?
Alright, yeah, go.
This is difficult as well. Oh, you got yourself trapped. Stop running in it. Just aim to. I think it's about done. So at the moment, that's 40. I gave her a second attempt, to which she hit 6 more of the moles, which adds up to 100 total tickets. We then moved on to the ball toss, where she got another 147 to bring her grand total to 247 just in 2 games. She decided to just do it in order, so we moved on to the basketball game, which didn't turn out to be as difficult as I thought. Maybe I shouldn't have done a £100 prize. It's another 130 onto your total. Christ. Oh no.
Is this the last one?
Yeah, but yeah.
I'm ready to rumble.
In her first attempt at the shooting game, she only got 14 tickets, so I gave her a second attempt where she got another 15. And then we moved on to the boat race. Now, for some reason, the slime jump only seems to work for the first person to cross it. So the first attempt didn't go so well for me. I didn't make it over the jump.
Oh my god, this is making me motion sickness.
Why wouldn't it go over the jump? I'm burning to death. Okay, right. This game's
This is
rigged.
actually harder than I thought.
This game's rigged, and got her another 20 tickets.
I finished with the rabbit.
No, I'm having a redo. And we tried it again, but then it didn't go so well for her. You burnt to death. I gave you the totem. This isn't going as swimmingly as I had planned.
Oh my god, you go so fast if you spin around.
Right, do you want to come and find this? Do the secret game? In her first attempt for this one, which I believe is the most difficult game that I created, she managed to get an iron helmet as well as a gold helmet, adding another 30 tickets to her total. And then in her second attempt, she managed to just hit 1 gold, adding on another 20. You know what? Third time's a charm. Do you reckon?
Wait, no, I hit this one. I hit this diamond.
I heard you fire that right now. Don't you cheat me, woman. But she didn't want to try that one again, so we move on to the prize picking.
Pick your next YouTube video.
Oh, you've still got 286 tickets left, so you could pick 2 of my next YouTube videos.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You want to pick 2 YouTube videos? To be
Yeah.
fair, actually, you know what? I appreciate the fact that you don't want to blow anything up, and you don't want me to have to re-get all of the stuff that I'm currently wearing. Because all
Yeah, to be fair, if I did do the TNT thing, you know where I would want to pull it on that Dubai thing.
you want to, that's right around here. You'd want to blow up this.
Yeah, because I know it took you ages.
Right? Are you locking in? Are you locking in the 2 YouTube videos?
I'm not mean enough to.
That sounds like you are.
I want you to recreate the Disney castle
Okay.
and make a zoo/aquarium.
Right, the next person is Morningstar. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How long did it take you to build this place?
I actually don't know. Off you go. So Morningstar actually copied what Ella did and just wanted to do all the games in total. So he played a few rounds of the mole game, and each round he broke 3 moles. He did have a bit more lag because he's from Korea, but that starts off his total at 90 tickets. And then for the pots game, he actually got 221 tickets, which brings his new total to 311 already. So he's already ahead of Ella on the second game in. And then this is where I'd start to regret my decision to make this video, because I didn't realize how easy it was for people to just
Here we go.
keep a target and spam at the highest ticket on the basket. So I'm now regretting my decision making that 50. Currently on 1,800 tickets.
Oh my god.
Why do you live in South Korea when you were American?
I'm an enlisted soldier.
Oh. I did not think soldiers played Minecraft.
I'm a Minecraft soldier.
So that didn't fill me with joy. But then we moved on to the boat race, where the glitch happened again.
I'm done.
Fuck's sake, man. His first attempt on the shooting game, he actually only got 9, so that was worse than Ella. But then I told him that my personal best on this target game when I was practicing was 21, so he was determined to beat that. So
Oh my gosh.
19,
No,
20.
20. No! I think it's over. Dang.
And then, so with that, okay, you're supposed to get in the thing.
Oh, my bad.
And then on his first go on the hardest one, he only just got the gold one. He did have a lot of lag though.
Oh, I hit it. I hit one. I got one.
You got a gold one. And that brings us to the end of his games. And for the prizes, I did change the 200 ticket prize, because I realized that if each of them, if all 3 managed to win enough tickets to be able to pick my next YouTube videos, then I can have the next 10 videos picked out for me, which I don't really want. So I just changed it to 20 quid.
I'll take 1 100 pound payment. I don't have YouTube, so we'll throw my Discord in there twice. 40 pounds on top of the 100. I'll take one more 20 pound and one more Discord link.
So you want 3 links in the top of the description.
Yes, we'll link my server 2 times and my normal Discord once. Let's go to the hotel first.
Oh, right, you're going straight. Remember, that's going to fall.
Oh, right. Can I get a pickaxe?
Oh, okay. Well, you've blown up down there instead now.
They look like they're having a lovely moment. We'll visit your base, but first, there's something I need to do, and this one's for you. Holy shit!
Okay.
Oh my god. All right, let's go to your base.
Oh, yeah, this is what it took to build the theme park. Oh. You know shulkers don't blow up, do they?
I think they do at the second explosion.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, actually, I don't even use it.
Yeah, Rudolph is... He's too liked. I've unbuilt Rudolph. How long did this take you to build?
That specific statue. It wasn't my longest. I mean, yeah, it took me ages to build. Yeah, you should blow it up. Teach me a lesson.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, no, yeah, it took me fucking like 150 hours. Oh god, that looked scary for a second.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't expect to catch a manslaughter charge.
Oh, you even got Beppo. Well, thanks for joining me. The third and final person I have invited to the server is, you can see, Black Belt MC. Say whatever you want to say.
Hello, hello, hello.
So Black Belt's first attempt at the mole game, he actually got 6 moles, which means 60 tickets right off the bat, which is not looking good for my bank account. His second attempt, he got another 4, so he's already on 100. For some reason with him, the moles were staying up and elevated for a very long time. The other people, it just dropped down quickly. For him, it was just staying up. And I don't know why. It's like the game wants me to lose money. And then his third and final attempt, he got another 5, which means on the first game, he's already on 150 tickets. 150 already. This is not looking good for me. On the ball toss, he got 201 tickets, which means he's already on 351. He's ahead of both of the last people. And I'm regretting my decision. And then on the basketball game, he used the same bloody technique that Morningstar did, which means his new total is 2,150. Nice.
Oh, wow.
We did attempt the boat race. Let's just pretend this one doesn't exist. Attempt 1 at the shooting range, he got 16 tickets. Attempt 2, he got 22, which means he beat my personal best, like, on a second attempt. 22. Oh, you beat my personal best.
Oh, I did.
My personal best was 21. And I regret giving him 3 attempts because then he got another 26 on his third go. Attempt 1 of the hardest one, he got 0. So I'm not gonna lie, I was very happy about that. Not that it makes any difference, he's already over 2,000 tickets. Attempt 2, he only got 1 iron.
Oh, I got one.
And then attempt 3, he got an iron and a gold, so that's another 30 added on. You did get an extra 30, but that's all the games. I'm not letting you get any more tickets.
My YouTube channel will be awesome. This one. Nah, I'm not gonna do that to you. This one. That one. 351. I'll take another one of these. 200 tickets one. I'm not gonna explode it though. I don't want to do that to you. I'll just place it and I don't want to explode.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Just place it wherever. That's the point.
Yeah, I got a spot. About.
Why?
You put too much work on your stuff. I don't want to explode your stuff.
Then why did you pick it? So you're choosing to put a load of stuff. A load of it. You're gonna use a whole stack.
Yeah.
You're gonna use all of it just on one small farm. Oh, poor bees, man. Oh my god, that made a crater.
Me.
How in the world did one stone slab? Those poor bees. And all of my honeycomb and stuff. All of it's gone. Oh well. Well, I mean, you've got money coming your way, and link in the description. Thanks for playing, and thanks for taking my money. Yeah, cool, I appreciate that, nice. And now that all of the contestants have played, and I'm going to be poor at the end of the month, I obviously had to go into my solo world and blow up all the areas that Morningstar had blown up, which meant gathering some TNT, and then blowing up the shulker boxes in my base, blowing up the enchantment area, trying to clear up the shulker boxes, blowing up Rudolph's face, blowing up Wumba's head, dropping that small bit of TNT on my hotel and blowing up that one room, which annoyingly actually did more damage than when Morningstar did it, and then finally destroying the basketball game. I'm just going to warn you that this video is not a very entertaining video. So a few months ago, my last main upload, I made this theme park. One of the competitors, who was a subscriber, decided to choose 2 videos for me to make.
I want you to recreate the Disney castle.
Okay, so here we are. And to get started, as always, I had to just collect all the materials. Majority of them quite simple and quite easy to gather. Some of them I already had, which was easy. And then you come to the quartz. So to collect all the quartz, I decided to have a little Google, and the fastest way to get quartz is by trading. Luckily, I've got every villager trade down in my base, so I got to trading. I traded carrots for emeralds, I traded sticks for emeralds, I traded wool for emeralds, just got as many emeralds as possible, and then made a load of whatever they're called, stonecutter based villagers out by the hotel, because that's where I have an abundance of villagers now. I trapped a ton in and just got to trading. I traded all of them all the way up to quartz, and then had to go back and forth between getting loads of emeralds and then getting loads of quartz, then getting loads of emeralds, and then getting loads of quartz, and blah, 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 blah. It took a very, very, very long time, and I'm starting to regret ever agreeing to this build, which, by the way, I will put a download link to the schematic in the description below, because it is not my design. I just went on Google and searched for one. So there's that as well. Once the most annoying part of the quartz had been done, I then moved on to diorite. Luckily, diorite's quite easy to gather. I did use FreeCam quite a lot to just have a look underground, because I did not want to spend hours and hours just searching for the bloody block. Luckily, you can just use efficiency and a beacon and get a ton of diorite quite quickly. So now we move on to the wool. I did have this going on in the background whilst I continued getting a load of quartz, but I already had a sheep farm, and I essentially just duplicated that sheep farm and made extra sheep, some with yellow wool, some with blue. So that was going on in the background with a chunk loader next to it. And then whilst that was doing its thing, I just got all the other blocks, the bookshelves, which, by the way, I didn't end up using at all, and all of the concrete and other extra bits like that, and all of the quartz stairs. It was a lot of quartz collecting, a lot of trading, and it bored the hell out of me. But now we have all of the blocks and items after a very, very long time. It's 2 hours worth of footage to just recording, gathering the items. And that's not even how long it actually took to gather the items. It took way longer than that, because I didn't record every single minute. So then we move on to the actual build, and of course I started with the terraforming to make the area underneath the build a little bit neater, so it wasn't just on a flat surface of the desert. And then we got on to building the build. I'm not gonna lie to you, the entire build I just did from the schematic and time-lapse form. I didn't once come on and talk, and I didn't once record my point of view or anything. And that is mainly down to me being burnt out and bored with this world. I'm currently on day 4,764 as of recording this voiceover, and I'm done. To be honest, I'm just done. I can't be bothered. Honestly, the video that did it was the hotel, because that video took me about 80 to 100 hours, I think, when it came to collecting materials and then planning it like on video and building the thing. It took a very long time, and at the same time I was trying to actually get money in real life, because I have rent to pay and all that sort of stuff. And so I just didn't like the thought of the fact that I was spending that much time and it's not, I'm not getting paid enough from YouTube to be able to supply a monthly wage. So I needed a job. No one was hiring me, so I decided to start my own business as a videographer. And over the last 8 months or so, it has kind of picked up to a point where it's actually been able to make me live. But that does mean I've got less time at home to be able to spend making these videos. So I'm moving on to a different way of making these videos. I want to do a hardcore series, which is a mix of the standard, you might say, over-the-top hardcore situation, where you do a gigantic mega build, and you have the cool editing, all that sort of stuff, but split it into episodes, kind of like Mumbo Jumbo's Hermitcraft. And I'm hoping that will still provide the entertainment for you guys and anyone new, whilst at the same time allowing me to be less stressed about it. So as an example, this build, this castle, rather than doing the entire build start to finish in one video like you're currently watching, I can concentrate on just doing like a detailed entrance with a bridge and a moat, for example. And that's one episode. But it will be slightly more detailed, and I put more thought into how the entrance looks and the block palette and blah 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 blah. But it will just be the entrance and like the moat as one of episode 1. Episode 2 could be building up the walls, and maybe there's some sort of bridge going across, and again putting thought and detail into what sort of items and blocks I'm using for the palette of the wall and making it look cool. And then the third episode is something else, fourth episode is something else, until eventually by the end of that build, you have one mega build, but it's split up. So I don't have to spend 100 hours just on one video. Instead, I'm spending 100 hours on 10 videos, for example. And I'm hoping that's a new form of this Minecraft hardcore. And so it's still entertaining enough for people, but without adding the stress onto me. That I'm like, oh, I've got to spend 100 hours this month so I can get a video up this month. Instead, no, I could just spend 8 to 10 hours to get a video up that month. Or that week, or whatever it is. So I'm hoping you guys agree. I'm hoping you guys are into that idea. If not, then too bad, because that's what I'm doing. And if you want to stick around and see that, because that'll technically be season 2 of Minecraft Hardcore, then click that subscribe button. Leave a comment with any ideas for builds that you want me to make. I've used ChatGPT and it's mentioned like a medieval kingdom. It's mentioned a futuristic sci-fi sort of base thing. So if you've got any ideas, let me know, and I can keep that in the memory bank. The other positive with doing a sort of episodic style is each video I upload, I can actually look at the comments and read suggestions, and then the next episode I can incorporate those suggestions, again like Mumbo Jumbo does. But rather than just the simple editing that Mumbo Jumbo does, I will still be able to do the cooler, hardcore Minecraft style editing. So kind of combine the two, and hopefully it's a little bit more chilled, kind of like the old style Let's Play, with a mix of the cool, fast-paced, intense hardcore that has kind of died out now, but is a bit more recent, and less stress on me. Hopefully you guys agree, and as promised, when I finish this, when I finish this season, I will put the world download in the description. So there's a world download in the description, there's a schematic for the Disney castle in the description, and I apologise to Smellabella because she did give me 2 video suggestions, but I shan't be doing them. I think the other one was a zoo. I did start to design that, and I just had a mental block, and instead just found this schematic, so I thought I'd do this first. So anyone new, subscribe, leave any comments. Anyone current, stay subscribed, because I am back and leave comment suggestions for builds. And at some point in the future, sometime in the new year, Season 2 will start with a different format. But yeah, that's basically it for now.